What's cracking, everybody? Zerfel Rose here with Maggie, bringing you guys some Pokemon Go Battle League content. And in today's video, we're going to be looking at a great team in the Great League, suggested by one of my own students in my patron Discord, Stegosaurus. He brought this team, and I was like, you know what? Abomasnow looks super strong, so let's take a look at this team. But you're actually here because of the title of this video. Let's not get that wrong. We're here to talk about how to beat the Pokemon Go Battle League algorithm, which, spoiler alert, there isn't really an algorithm. And you know what? You're going to be like, yeah, I know. I get it. You're going to be like, man, why did you make me click on this video if there's not really an algorithm? I'm going to tell you why. Because, and this is what I'm saying, right? If Niantic can't code their own game properly, to not have bugs everywhere, what makes you think that they can really actually create an algorithm that is a matchmaking algorithm that takes you and pits you against the hardest counter possible to your team every battle, all day, every day, just for you? It's not real. I promise you it's not real. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about some ways that you can overcome these bad situations and just some tips while we look at these battles with this team, because I'm going to be honest, this team's kind of cracked. But you know what? I won't let you just listen to me talk. We're going to take some battles here and we're going to show them off. So right here in the beginning, we've got a Alolan Ninetales. Look at it. It beats 2/3 of my team. This is definitely an algorithm situation. So I have to do everything that I can in order to beat this. Now, here's one of the things that you just got to keep in mind, right? You see something at core breaks. Look, I already got a shield from the person, and I'm going to bring in my Azu. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to put my opponent in a situation where maybe they're not going to have that Ninetales aligned to my Abomasnow or my Sableye. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. I'm just making plays here. I'm backed into a corner. I'm just making plays and hoping something sticks. And thankfully, the opponent stays in here, and then they come in with a Sableye. I'm like, okay, this isn't so bad. They came in with Sableye against my Azumarill. You might be thinking, well, Zerfel Rose, that actually seems like a boneheaded play. And you know what? You might be right. But the opponent maybe doesn't have a better answer in the back for Azumarill. So even though their team core breaks my Abomasnow Sableye, they didn't happen to be counting much for the Azumarill. So it's not to say that just because the lead is bad, that doesn't mean that you're completely screwed. And look, I bring in my own Sableye into their Charmeleon and Ninetales because I know that they can't get to a Weather Ball to take me out. And they bring in a Vigoroth. So the entire team was hating on my Abomasnow. But we're going to be able to make it work because of energy management and the fact that my opponent did not have a strong answer to an Azumarill in the back. Now, that's one thing that I want to bring up as we talk about how to overcome these bad situations, right? Is your team composition and strategy. Look at the team, and this is why I like this team. Abomasnow core breaks a lot of things in the meta, and Azumarill and Sableye are two very excellent counters to most fighting types, and also even fire types in Azumarill's case. Azumarill and Abomasnow have been a core for as long as I can honestly remember. And so you pair those two together and you put a really good safe swap in Sableye. Now, this is a terrible lead. Once again, this thing can basically beat my whole team. And I'm going to swap into my... Why are you... Don't get upset at me. And I'm swapping into my Sableye because that's all I can do, and they're staying in. So maybe that means they don't have an answer to my Sableye in the back. Could be Medicham, could be Deoxys back there. There could be a few things back there. But I'm staying in here with my Sableye, and look, my opponent brings in a Powder Snow Alolan Ninetales. Look at that. Another thing that core breaks my team. I'm not getting it easy here, folks. I'm a content creator. I hit Legend 2 weeks ago. I'm not getting it any easier than any of you guys are. These battles are done in like the 2,500 elo range. You know, I'm not cherry picking my battles here. I had plenty of games where I was able to come back because of the skills that I have honed over a long period of time. I'm primarily self-taught. I watch videos to learn how to play certain aspects of this game better. I would look up content from Wallower or FP Sticks. Some great content creators rise to occasion. All of them are fantastic creators that you could learn a lot from, and I'm hoping that myself as well is included. Now, here's an Octowl. Something else beats my Sableye. This line is essentially just F you to my line, but we are going to overcome it, or at least try to. Now, this is an uphill battle. Again, I don't get to a point here where I'm planning things out. I'm almost just kind of playing by the skin of my teeth at this point. But when it comes to your team's strategy, you don't just throw three things together or make some nonsense ABB team that you think, okay, well, you know, this is definitely going to work because it's ABB. No, you have to put strategy into your team planning. Look, so Abomasnow is in the lead. Has Powder Snow, Shadow, does a ton of damage to flying types, deals with Noctowl, deals with Swampert, deals with a lot of common things in the meta. Just not Bastiodon. Bastiodon is a problem. But Sableye is my safe swap. Why is Sableye my safe swap? Because it's going to probably draw out a Noctowl 100 times out of 100. If your opponent's running a Noctowl, it's usually going to bring one out. Occasionally I do have some that, you know, don't bring them out. But then your Abomasnow gets to freely farm down that flyer. Because Sableye is going to lure out either, and I lose that game, but that's because Bastiodon is just too dang thick. The Abomasnow is going to farm down whatever it didn't, like, your opponent's going to bring in whatever doesn't want to see Abomasnow to the Sableye. And look, there's another Ninetales. I can't get away from this stuff, man. I can't make this up. And I actually did take a few different sets. I've had even worse games than this, and I didn't want to put them on the camera because originally I was just going to do a shoutcast and showcase of these battles. But I've instead decided to do differently, so I kind of wish I had put all those other battles in here because you could see just how rough I've had it with the team in general. Are you so cute? Look at you. What are you doing? You're a goofball. What are you... Oh, she's so cute. That laugh just melts your heart. But, you know, Wallower back in the day made a team with this core. Like, it works. But the reason why it works is because when you use something like Sableye, they're going to take something that is in the back of their team, like Altaria, or, you know, something that doesn't want to see the Abomasnow, Swampert. You're adorable, but I'm trying to tell people things. Goodness gracious. Too much for your mom, I guess. Come on, come here. You're too heavy, you little fatty. So Abomasnow gets to farm down that thing that the opponent brought in. And then Azumarill, hopefully with shields, is bulky and dynamic enough, right? So that's another thing about team strategy and team comp. You just want to go crawl around or something? Just wander around the world? Is that if you're going to pick a team like Bastiodon Victory Bell that's insanely RPS, you're going to get hard countered and there's nothing you can do about it. Pokemon like Azumarill and Sableye, yes, they may get hard countered, but at least they have ways to play and fight back. If you're going to pick a team that is just completely RPS, you're going to pick Bastiodon, you're going to pick, you know, the Shadow Victory Bell. Like, if you get hard countered, you better have something on your team that can win you switch or something, because if you don't, you're screwed. And here's another not so great lead. We have Galarian Stunfisk. The thing can two-shot my Abomasnow. I try to catch on my Sableye, doesn't work. My opponent reads me like a book. I shield a potential Earthquake, and I do shield the Earthquake. Half the time they throw Rock Slide. And then they come in with a Shadow Dragonite. So not only that, but I don't get to win switch. But this is a situation I'm talking about. The opponent brings in the thing that didn't want to see Abomasnow. So yes, I'm going to lose switch here. But what I get to do is I get to farm a bunch of energy on my Abomasnow. That's going to give me an opportunity here to have more energy against the Stunfisk and potentially overwhelm it, because now that my opponent was forced to spend a shield on their Dragonite. So now I'm going to let my Abomasnow farm up some more energy, throw an Energy Ball, because that's going to be the harder hitting move and I've got a ton of energy, and why not throw it? And look, it takes out some of their HP. There you go, there's the word I was looking for. And my opponent has a Frostlass in the back. So I have taken out the hardest answer, hopefully, which I guess it's not really the hardest answer because Azumarill would just wall up a Dragonite, so maybe this isn't the best case scenario. But I'm giving myself a situation where my strategy is to lure out or win switch against that thing that beats Abomasnow. So if Abomasnow gets to farm down a Dragonite, that means it's got more energy, and it can threaten things, because if you've ever been against a Shadow Abomasnow with energy, it's deadly. That's why I'm running it, because it destroys things. But let's pivot a minute and talk about this algorithm, right? I know I mentioned it already, and I'm hoping that some of these tips are helping people rather than just falling on deaf ears. If you're blaming an algorithm for why you're not getting out of a certain elo, or you're blaming a matchmaking algorithm or something, it's just an excuse. I'm sorry to say it. It's my honest to God opinion. You're just making an excuse. Everybody has the ability to improve at this game and get better. It's a matter of the dedication and the time and sticking to the things that you learn. Again, content from these creators is out there. You can go learn fast move timing from many creators that have gotten videos out there. You can learn these team building strategies, and you can do all these things, and you have to internalize and remember this information. You can't just take it in and then just go back to the way you were doing things, because you're never going to improve that way. Look, we one shot. Oh, this is one of the games I love because Abomasnow beats this whole freaking team. Why do you have a sock? And a starfish? I don't even know where you find these things. Anyway, So, like, learning this stuff doesn't happen overnight. You're not going to go look a video up on fast move timing and then immediately just know how to do fast move timing. It's something that's going to take you some time to figure out. It takes a lot of practice. I spent the last I've been battling for almost 3 years now. I spent at least 2 of those years before I was a content creator even, and we did that, started a little over a year ago. And I was basically learning. And as I was learning, I remember all of these times where I'm like, why can't I win a game? Every time I change the team, every time I do anything, I get hard countered. And eventually, I had to tell myself that sometimes you're just going to get team comped. Your opponent is going to have a hard counter team. This entire format is a blind pick 3 format. It's all luck based. It's not algorithm. It's not anything other than you match with Joe Schmo across the planet and you're playing a team and he just happened to pick a team that beats your team, and you're going to have just as many games. I promise you. You're going to have just as many games that do the exact same thing to somebody else. I have had maybe 2 games in here where my team just team comped somebody, right? Most of the games I pit against somebody with a Alola Ninetales, and this person, there's another video in here, I think there's another battle in here, someone's gonna swap, I'm gonna save swap my Azumarill, and they're gonna clap me with a Trevenant. But you know why? Because the team works, the team functions, and I forgot the transition, but you know what, whatever, I don't care. I think this is actually the battle right here. This might be it. So this person is a Deoxys. Look at that. Deoxys beats the crap out of Abomasnow, and Azumarill is not gonna have a good time because they almost always are packing Thunderbolt. I can't bring in my Sableye, which is another one. If you get core broken, try not to bring in your hardest counter to an opponent's Pokemon, because if they've team built correctly, they're going to have something in the back to beat Sableye. It's just how it is. Look at it. There's the Lickitung right there. That's the thing that's going to beat the English. That's the thing that's going to beat my Sableye. But I brought out my Azumarill because I know that my Sableye is the harder counter, so I want to save it for later. Sometimes you don't have the option to do that. But I digress. Algorithm talk, right? So everything about this game is luck-based. There's no way for you to control who you're playing against. There's no way to control what team they're going to have. I could tell you that when I was pushing for Legend a couple weeks ago on Ultra Holiday Cup with that double grass team with Venusaur, I saw at least on a daily basis 5 or 6 teams that had like Magneton or Alolan Sandslash leads that completely just destroyed my whole team, and I just lose if I see them, right? So I have it happen to me too. But I'm still able to use the skills that I've learned and mastered, and I'm able to use them to push higher, because eventually I'm going to hit a stride where maybe the meta works. Like Ultra Holiday Cup, I just immediately gained like 300 points because I'm just really good at Ultra League, right? I've taken the time to learn all those matchups. I've taken the time to learn all these mechanics, and it's a knowledgeable thing for me to be able to play in. So I'm naturally good there. A lot of people lack that in Great League. There's people like that in Master League. It's also helpful to find what works for you and focus on that. And maybe eventually you branch off and you play like Master League. Maybe you get a couple things ready for Master League. And then maybe, you get a couple teams ready for Ultra League. But maybe you're just better in the Great League and that's where you want to stick, and that's fine. But you should then look to use that information that you've gathered. Remember it. And use it to your advantage for next time. I almost won this game. One fast move. I should not have swapped my bomb, so it was a mistake. Shouldn't have done it. But anyway. I make bonehead plays too. It's alright. So, I mean, it really comes down to what you're... Look, I love this. I love it when they have lanterns. Oh, Lantern was great. And then the Frostlass. Okay, this is one of the times where I was able to completely RPS my opponent. I don't know if I did this correctly. I probably didn't, because I should have shielded the Avalanche. It was my fault for not doing that. Maybe I should have just brought in my Azumarill. I don't know. But here, I basically RPS my opponent to the point where they're actually going to be able to win Switch for me now, just because of the fact that they're going to farm me down, which really sucks. But there's no algorithm, guys. It doesn't exist. And the only thing keeping you from improving is yourself. There is so much information out there that anybody who is willing to dedicate themselves to actually learning and understanding the material that's where it's going to come down to. And now we're gonna be completely honest here. Abomasnow doing work. I love it. I'm probably going in circles at this point, but find somebody you can learn from, right? It could be me. Maybe you're watching this video because you like learning things from me. Or maybe you want to go watch Rise to Occasion, Zionic, Yonkus. You could go watch FP Sticks. You could go back and watch some of Wallower's old stuff. There's so many people that are out there that are good at what they do that you could learn from them. You could even go on Twitch and learn from someone like Elodie Colo, or you could go learn from Trainer Rem or Be Richly Plays. There's so many people that I can think of off the top of my head that I just happen to know that would be really good people to learn these things from. But when it comes down to it, it's all about the knowledge. This is a game of knowledge. And you're never going to improve unless you internalize and practice that knowledge. One of the most common things that I've seen people struggle with are things like energy management and counting and things. And that's going to be one of those are the two things that really will set you apart from other battlers if you can learn to master the move counts and knowing, how many fast moves it takes to get to the charge moves, and how much you can yourself then over farm before your opponent gets to a move. Like if I know that this Sableye needs another 5 or 6 Shadow Claws to get to their next foul play, I'll farm more energy with bubbles. I'll continue to farm up knowing that I don't need to throw my play rough right away. I can just go up to maybe 2 or 3 more bubbles because I know that I can without taking any charge move damage. Now, there's always going to be situations where sometimes it's better just throw the move right away. You're going to find those situations exist. If it means getting the matchup and getting the win, then throw it out the window and just throw the charge move. But over a course of a game, you're going to see in almost every single one of my games, I'm going to be practicing over farming and energy management and my fast move timing. And those are things that I am proud of because I've practiced them to the point where I can't not do them. It's just so ingrained in my brain because I've practiced it so many times. I would do 25 battles a day for many, many seasons just to practice this stuff. And that's what it took for me. Now, there are other ways you can do it, right? You can go to the PV Poke Training Sim, you can practice this stuff. You can go, really, there's many places you can go. Look, another Swampert lead, and this is another one of those Swampert double flyer teams. So thank you, Yonkus, for making that team popular because my Abomasnow feasts on these teams. It's just, I only have so long to do this in these videos, so I'm really hoping that the information that I've talked about has hit home for some of you, and I can't make your matchups better, right? I can't just say next time you queue in a GBL, you're going to have wins. You have to learn how to overcome the bad situations and when to do certain things. And there's so much that I can't just cover in one video. And I could definitely plug myself here because I am a Metafy coach who covers all this stuff and can help you one-on-one to learn all these things. If you head over to my Metafy page, which this wasn't the point of this video, was for me to plug myself, but I'm putting myself out there as a resource. And I completely fudged that up. I think I was trying to chase Maggie for something there, and I completely messed up the the mini game there. But like on my Metafy page, I have all of these lessons and courses and things that you can take. That if you're struggling with move counter, you're struggling with typing interaction, you're struggling with different things. Myself, I can help you. If you don't like me, maybe just like Zerfelros, I hate you. I don't think that you're a good battler. I think you suck and you don't deserve to make content. That's fine, but you're still here watching this, right? Aren't you? So she's looking at me like, what the hell are you talking about? There's other people out there that I would absolutely recommend. I don't think that you have to just come to myself just because I'm making this content. Yes, I'd love to be able to help you, but if you don't like me, then you don't like me. But anyway, there are so many people out there that would be willing to do these kinds of things, some of them for free, some of them like myself who do charge for the service. But the things that you get back from that investment are always worth it, because coaching is something that you get to sit down with somebody one-on-one and kaboom, the Azumarill. You get to sit down with somebody one-on-one and you get to talk to them and you get to figure out how to get better. And you don't do it through a YouTube video where someone is talking at you. You get to do it with somebody who is talking to you. And the other thing that I could put out there as well for myself, my own resource here, is I have a patron Discord. And that patron Discord, everybody in it gets equal attention, whether you're a student of mine or just somebody who's subscribed to me. And that place is immensely helpful for anybody looking to improve or just finding other people to mold with. I literally have a molding channel in my patron Discord that gets used every day because people just get pissed off at the game, and it's okay. You feel yourself get pissed off, you take a step back, you come back later. Don't you touch the power button on my computer, little one. I'm almost done recording this video. So just keep that in mind the next time you guys play the game, and obviously let me know in the comments whatever comes to your mind. But this is how to beat the algorithm, everybody. I hope you had a great experience in this video and watched Abomasnow destroy things. It was great. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.